Welcome to Newswatch. Later in the programme, why was the death of Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords wrongly announced on the news channel last Saturday? First, it was hailed as a great victory for the older woman and a humiliating defeat for BBC bosses. On Tuesday, an employment tribunal found that former Countryfile presenter Miriam O'Reilly was the victim of ageism when she was dropped from the show. So was this case a one-off, or could it herald a change in the types of faces we see on our screens?
Young at heart. Young at heart.
At the age of 53, Miriam O'Reilly is something of a rarity among female TV presenters. Too old, the judgment found, for BBC managers who subjected her to direct age discrimination and age victimisation. Left her emotional, but triumphant.
I feel overwhelmed by this victory. It's been a long time coming. I've been fighting for 14 months to get justice.
There are no day-to-day worries that I can't just lose in the landscape. It's a very empowering place.
Although the finding is unprecedented, Miriam O'Reilly claimed that ageism was endemic at the BBC, and that's been a view echoed in our postbag from viewers this week.
She doesn't look old, and she certainly doesn't need Botox, and she certainly doesn't need her wrinkles fixed or anything like that. She's the kind of woman one wants to see on BBC. But I think that the idea that that there seems to be more tendency that older men give gravitas to a situation, which I think is women of such an age can also do. The BBC reflects society as it is, and therefore it's got to reflect the fact that more of us will be older, and it must, I would say, it has to lead the way. It has to lead the way, yes, it does.
It seems to me that when selecting male presenters, the criteria is focused on quality and character. But when selecting female presenters, the focus is on the criteria of appearance. And I just think that's a little bit old-fashioned. So I was pleased when Miriam O'Reilly won her case, because I thought, well, this is an opportunity for the BBC to have a bit of a shake-up, to have a bit of a rethink, and maybe present us with a much wider, diverse set of presenters, and also presenter combinations, because you often see the same old combination of an older man with a younger woman. So if her case can kind of broaden the presenter set to the viewer, then I think that's a good thing.
Older women become invisible. You know, once you hit sort of 50 or thereabouts, you're just invisible. Nobody sees you anymore. That is something I think has got to change.
Good afternoon.
Previous allegations of presenters being pushed out on age grounds have all focused on women, such as the news presenters Moira Stewart, Anna Ford and Selina Scott. And although the BBC was cleared of sex discrimination in this case, the tribunal did find that older women have faced particular disadvantage in the broadcast media.
It is a strange coincidence, isn't it, that we have quite a few grey-haired newsreaders, current affairs presenters, entertainers, and I can't think of any women. Odd that, isn't it? I mean, far be it from me to dispute the judge's version that this is not ageism, but it does seem that age, when it comes, that it isn't sexism, but it does seem odd, doesn't it, that age seems to play a part rather more often when it comes to employing women on the screen and behind the screen.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world.
These decisions are made by people who are very powerful in television, channel controllers. Their writ usually runs, nobody contradicts them, everyone is nice to them, everyone laughs at their jokes, and they generally get what they want. So on occasion, decisions are made in a reasonably whimsical, almost capricious sort of way. Now, what this decision reveals is, or suggests, is that that's not going to wash in future.
The BBC accepted this week's findings and promised action to make sure such prejudice is not repeated.
That we would like to apologise to Miriam, and we will be talking to her personally. We are absolutely committed in the BBC to fair selection, and we accept in this case we didn't get it right. So as a consequence of that, we will be looking hard at training, especially senior editorial executives, about recruitment in this way. We'll be reviewing our guidelines so that people feel that they get the help and assistance that they require.
The BBC will be judged on its deeds over the next few years, not its words now. If we do end up seeing a broader range of presenters on our screens, this week's judgment will come to be seen as a landmark. Discrimination has been a bit of a theme in our email inbox this week. Pam Ledsham contacted us with a complaint about, well, us. I get very frustrated with your programme every week because you only read out contacts from men. If you do read out contacts from women, it's only one or two. Why? This is discrimination against us women and should be rectified. I bet you won't read this email out because it's from a woman. Well, you're wrong there, Mrs. Ledsham, and I hope you agree that in this week's programme at least, we have a reasonable gender balance. Now, last Saturday's shooting in Arizona